Phew. Whoa, guys, I am drained. I am drained. I am drained. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Chelsea 2, 2. Who, I mean, I can't even speak. Chelsea 2, 2. Newcastle 1. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. It's the Chelsea Godfather reporting back to duty. Please subscribe to my channel for regular Chelsea updates. Woo! This was always the kind of scoreline that I expected from this game. I was just hoping and praying that we be on the right side of the scoreline, and so it has come to pass. Guys, the game started out fast. First of all, as we had expected, um, Enzo Maresca was going to play pretty much almost identical team to the lineup that he put out at Anfield last week. That's not what I wanted, but that's it was all indicators were basically pointing towards that, and so from that angle, both Casiero and Lavia kept their place in midfield, which again, that's the midfield that I wanted as well. I mean, against a physical Newcastle team, that's what you need, and they were the key to us winning this game. I mean, notwithstanding Palmer, we're gonna get to him later. Then in defense, though, that's where the wrinkle was because in as much as he had both Gusto and James in defense. He actually flipped it. He had Gusto at right back and James at left back, and Gusto with the green light to invert into midfield and to overlap. And guys, I mean, I'm sure you all saw it. That's not the attacking phase of the game is not Gusto's strength. That's James' strength, obviously. But because James has been out for like 2 years, it's all about baby steps and not trying to overstretch him. And pretty much everybody else. Oh, I even forgot. Sancho lost his spot to Neto, and even when the sub came in, it was Misha, Mudrik, who came on, and so which suggests that Sancho most likely going to be playing the Carabao Cup game in midweek against Newcastle on Wednesday. So everything was pretty much the same. We came out flying. We came out flying. We scored the early goal. What we thought was an early goal. What we thought was an early goal was canceled out by really narrow. I mean, I don't know how they saw it, but VAR said it was offsides. The same VAR that later ruled even more looking offside goal. They somehow found it to be onside for Isak's goal. But let's just put that by the wayside for now. So we came out flying. We scored the first goal. It was brilliant work. I believe Neto. I believe it was Neto that released. Was it Neto? It was a through pass that released Palmer, and I mean Palmer is deadly. Palmer is dead. He Palmer's strike that right there was the warning. Okay, it was crossed off. It was chalked off. Then a little bit, I believe, another 10 minutes later, Palmer had a wicked outlet pass from deep in midfield. I don't know how he saw Neto on the at the corner of his eye, roughly almost about 30 yards away, managed to inch perfect slip that ball right through past the last man. Neto used his speed and got there, beat his marker, skipped over his guy, and perfect square pass to Jackson, who I must give him credit. The goal was finished very well. Those of us that watched Classico, Mbappe missing several chances. Yesterday. So, I'm not going to take after watching that game. I'm not taking Jackson for granted anymore. But anyway, we were up 1-0 at that point, and we're in full control. And but then of course this is Chelsea. We have a lot of young players. We have a new manager. We have a new system. And even though we're playing better and better, and getting stronger and stronger, old habits die hard. And what are the old habits? The old habits are just lack of concentration. We don't. We just still have that knack. This is what cost us in the loss against City and in the loss at Anfield. Defensively, sometimes we just fall asleep. I think with regards to this one, the player at fault for me was Nani. It was Nani. Nani, because Gusto, if you watch the replay, Gusto at a point where had three players to mark. He had up to three players. It was really more or less two players. Yeah, I mean, there's no way. It's just, dude, even if you only had two guys to mark, come on now, he's just one guy. He needed help from his winger. When we play against other strong teams, you see their fullbacks getting help. But when we're playing against other, especially when we're playing a tough game like this, our wingers need to be defensively disciplined to know when to let me just be slightly conservative. Every game is not going to be 6-2 or 4-1. This is Newcastle, and Nani in that goal was caught upfield, and Augusto just couldn't really cover both our ex-boy Lewis Hall. And I think I can't remember who they had on the left wing. And Hall put in a very delicious cross, which Isak scored. Now, for me, Isak was offside. If the Palmer goal was offside, then Isak was definitely offside. How this VAR managed to draw this line? When come on, let's just let that be. Okay, so 1-1. We kept pushing. We kept pushing. We had a few chances, in the first half to try and make it take a 2-1 halftime lead, but we could not get it done. In the second half, we came out flying, and our press is basically what won us. I can't believe what it may have been Lavia. It was Lavia that won the ball in midfield. Lavia played very, very well. Won the ball in midfield and just poked it straight to Palmer. You guys already know Palmer put on the after burners, blew right by their man, and a left-footed grass-cutting strike to the near post. Pope. Normally you would say Pope, should have done better, but that was a bullet. I wasn't even sure that the ball was in because the thing happened so fast. The play, his strike was just that fast. I barely saw it fly by Pope. 2-1, and at that time we're basically flying, right? We had a chance to make it 3-1, and it should have been 3-1. A cross, I believe the cross may have been from Nani, but I'm not sure. But the cross came from the right wing all the way to I think it came from Nani, and it went, and Neto did so well to leap above Livramento, our former ex boy. He leaped above him, and when you watch it on replay, there was so much open net to aim at. And just on there, unfortunately for Neto, the ball hit the upright and bounced out. That would have been 3-1 and pretty much game over. At that point in time, Eddie Hall then decides to dial up the changes, and the changes that he dialed up had an impact, because Newcastle basically eventually began to take over the game from us. Yeah, I won't say they were full in control, but they put us under a lot of pressure. And had it not been for James basically clearing not one but two balls, I know he cleared one, actually twice off he had the a header on a corner kick play earlier in the second half, and then he cleared one off the line late in the game. I mean, James, right? There's leaders and there's leaders. I mean, James is not the most vocal leader, but what he is he's a leader on the pitch by the way he plays the game. James did not put one foot wrong in this game. He's the consummate professional playing the game. Very, very smart player and talented player. I felt that Cucurella should have come on earlier in the second half because Gusto was getting into great position to score, but Gusto is not that guy. He's not that guy, and then he was making some juvenile mistakes, and I felt that Cucurella should have come on earlier, go to left back and move James to right back, and then we can invert Cucurella because I know that Maresca was never going to have James flying up and down like Gusto. And then the other point of note is apart from the fact, let's just put the PK to the side for one. But the main other concern for me is our goalie, Sanchez. Guys, boys and girls, I think it's, the time is now. Is that time for, Maresca to give, Philip, Jorgensen a start in the Premier League? That's just me. And I'm sure that's how you guys feel too. Sanchez, if one of the main reasons why Sanchez is starting, he's a good shot stopper, but if one of the main reasons is his kicking game, then no way, Jose. He was horrible today in the kicking game. I haven't bothered to look at his stats, and I'll be shocked if he had more than 50% accuracy. He probably did, but you guys basically get the whole point. His kicking game was terrible. He was putting us into trouble. He was overhitting passes to the sideline, and anytime he's on the ball, everybody is just nervous. Maresca, when are you going to just realize that, what, I think I've had enough unnecessary stress, and bring in Jorgensen, give him some starts, and let's see what happens. That's just the way it is. If Sancho can find himself on the bench, then surely Sanchez can definitely find himself on the bench. Then last but not least was the penalty that I thought. I thought it was a penalty. I know it was soft, but it's the contact. The contact was there. It's a lot of contact. It's a lot of contact. Kunku had the ball, drove the ball at what's his name? I think his name is Burns, the defender, the tall lanky defender, and he had his hand all over him. Which, by the way, he was lucky not to get a red card in this game because he had pulled down, I think, Nani in the first half, but he was the first or second in the first half, and he clearly was the last man, but he was lucky that Pope was also there to basically clear the ball, and that's why they didn't bother, and he's pretty much done almost the same thing. And in this case, the referee gave the pointer to the spot. VAR felt that the referee made the mistake. Whatever. Anyway, notwithstanding, we managed to hold on 2-1. We're right up to 5th on the table. Hopefully, Arsenal loses today, so we can jump back into 4th place, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards from here. Our next game is midweek on Wednesday against Newcastle. Carabao Cup. I believe it's the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, and I'm definitely looking at this. But this one is at St. James Park, and it should be fun because we got boys, we got a lot of ballers. Guys, how do you all feel? Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. Take care. God bless you guys. Peace out.